The coronavirus has reached full-blown pandemic mode, and everyone around the country is feeling the effects of it. I'm Kyle Walker, and this is the Hitting the Wall podcast. Hey everybody, how's it going? This is our first recorded version of Hitting the Wall, so hopefully you're seeing it in all of its finished glory. I wanted to talk to you guys tonight about the coronavirus. I know that last week we talked about it, and I was, let's say, a little flippant about it, a little jovial, had a little fun, a little humor, mostly at the expense of everything that was happening around the coronavirus. As it turns out, a week can make a very big difference. So if you'll remember, the last time we spoke about coronavirus, it was a Tuesday. I was getting ready to leave town on Wednesday and go to New Mexico for the Bataan Memorial Death March. On that show, we talked a little bit about the history of Bataan, why I do the event, and all that fun stuff, only to have it canceled the next day due to coronavirus. The COVID-19 is shutting down the entire country. So instead of going to New Mexico, I instead kind of did an about-face and spent a couple days in New Orleans. I enjoy New Orleans, wanted to go to New Orleans, so I went to New Orleans. I had some days off of work and decided that that's what I should do. So I went down there and had a very fun time. New Orleans was probably a little lighter than usual due to the fear of COVID-19. But all in all, I was able to eat all the stuff that I wanted to eat, which was mainly why I wanted to go there. Because if you haven't had beignets at Café du Monde, then you just haven't experienced the best that really junky food can offer. So I made sure to do that. But I did catch a little heat and almost felt a little bad that last week I had so much fun at the expense of COVID-19, only to have it completely blow up in the time that I was away. Between the last show and this show, it's a very different world now, isn't it? China has completely shut down. People are completely locked in their homes, to the point there are rumors that people are even getting welded inside of their domiciles. If there's truth to that or not, I don't know. It was a report. It was what I heard. Don't jump on me for not having like 20 different sources to verify that, because, I can't. Italy very much shut down as the borders are closed, and Italy is suffering a big time COVID-19 pandemic. I don't know what the difference are between the two of those. Maybe I should look that up sometime. And then, of course, we have it over here in the United States, where, of course, it started off very small, but has grown exponentially over the last week. I did find something that was in the Washington Post, and this was actually sent to me. I'm going to read just a little bit of this very long article to you. And it's just kind of the way that COVID-19 is growing. It says, after the first case of COVID-19, the disease caused by the new strain of coronavirus, was announced in the United States, reports of further infections trickled in slowly. 2 months later, that trickle has turned into a steady current. So the first report came on January 22nd, and really nothing happened until we got into late February. Then the numbers started going up. And let's see here if I can make this work. It's on a tablet, so I don't know if it will or not. No, not really. Oh, there we go. So there were only 15 cases reported on February 15th. We go to March 1st, and we are at 101 cases. And then last report on March 13th, 2,179 cases of the COVID-19 coronavirus have been reported. So as you can tell, between March 1st and March 13th, the curve is going way up. I mean, it is pointed straight up on confirmed cases. This so-called exponential curve has experts worried. If the number of cases were to continue to double every 3 days, there would be about 100 million cases in the United States by May. That is math, not prophecy. The spread can be slowed. Public health professionals say if people practice, and here's the big word that we've all heard by now, social distancing, by avoiding public spaces and generally limiting their movement. Still, without any measures to slow it down, COVID-19 will continue to spread exponentially for months. And to understand why, it is instructive to simulate the spread of a fake disease through the population. Now, if you go to the Washington Post, they actually have set up this whole hypothetical situation of how a pandemic like this can spread amongst the population. I'm not going to read all of that to you, Again, Washington Post, if you want to go and read that for yourself. So that's where we're at right now. You know, really the numbers don't indicate that things are as bad as the news will make them out to be. I said that last week. I stick with it now. Confirmed deaths, I think we're only at like 60. We're around 60 in the United States. And again, this is a country of what, 7 million people, more than that, probably more than that, whatever it's at. 60, we're still looking at a less than 1% mortality rate. No mortality of kids under 9, so that's excellent. But it doesn't sound like it's the end result. It's not like the deaths that they're worried about. It's just the infection rate and how, I guess, this highly contagious disease can spread just so quickly and can fill the population, it looks like, in no time at all. So we've had a couple celebrities who have tested positive for this, and I think that that's what really started, I wouldn't say the panic, but that's what really got this thing popped off. So I know while I was gone, while I was out of town, 2 NBA players tested positive for COVID-19. Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell both play for the Utah Jazz. And so they both tested positive. And when that happened, the NBA said, whoa, we're done. Season over. Like, it is finished while we're trying to prevent the spread. So no fans in the stands, no players on the court. The season was over. The NCAA then followed suit. And that was huge. As we're going into conference tournament weekend, the NCAA pulled the plug on everything. So here locally, the Big 12 tournament was just canceled. And that thing is a huge moneymaker for the city of Kansas City, Missouri. So that got done. All the seniors who were playing their last games finished. Your career is over. The NAIA tournament also pulled the plug. And then overall, March Madness. March Madness. Again, the biggest tournament in all of sports. Let's be real honest. Even if you're not a college basketball fan, it's the biggest tournament in all of sports. Completely done. The NBA, season over. Major League Baseball has said, we're not starting until at least mid-May. That's at the earliest. They pulled the plug on spring training. Everyone left. Everyone's gone. No one's at the facilities. They will not throw opening day pitches until mid-May, and that's a maybe. Also, let's see what else. Major League Soccer has suspended play. Indoor soccer has said season is over. There's a few others. The NFL, they are going to still have their draft at the end of April, but it will be teams and players only. There will be no fans allowed in there. The city of Las Vegas that I was just in about 2-3 weeks ago, they have almost completely shut down. All buffets have been closed, and a lot of the hotels now are starting to not take new reservations. The cruise line industry is, well, let's just say they're sinking. The cruise line industry is sinking because nobody's getting on a cruise ship right now because a lot of people feel that that's where a lot of this problem started. If you've never been on a cruise, then I've only been on one, so I'm no expert by any stretch of the imagination. You get on this cruise ship, and you are just in this teeny tiny little isolated community. And if one bug is aboard that ship, just one little virus, one little illness, a little bacteria, it spreads like wildfire from fore to aft, from starboard to port. I mean, it is just, it spreads quickly. So if you're on a cruise ship and someone comes on with that, it's going to spread like wildfire. So the cruise ship industry struggling, airplanes struggling, everything is struggling right now. Something I was just made aware of today, and something we all need to be on the lookout for, price gouging is now becoming a thing. And at first it didn't register in my head when someone said that they were looking on Amazon.com at toilet paper. Because again, the huge story here is everyone has gone crazy about purchasing toilet paper. Like, I get it. It's definitely a need. I mean, you could argue that or not. I think most people need toilet paper. But the way that it has flown off the shelves and the way that people are going nuts over toilet paper, COVID-19 is like having a bad cold. It is not like having the flu. You should not be expelling things from either end during a bout with COVID-19. Sore throat, cough, trouble breathing. Those are the signs, okay? Not flu-like symptoms. But anyway, so toilet paper has been the real big thing to go flying off the shelves. But I returned to Amazon. They're selling toilet paper at $60. $60 for a pack of toilet paper. And again, that's just because the demand is so high. But they're saying in a lot of different areas and a lot of different things, really watch out for price gouging. Don't pay an exorbitant fund for something that someone's just trying to make a few extra dollars off of. Toilet paper being the prime example. Hand sanitizer, also another prime example. People are like, yeah, got this thing, hand sanitizer. Give it to you for $50. Okay, here's the problem with that. Hand sanitizer gone. If you go next aisle over and look at all the soap, soap is fine. There's still tons of soap on the shelves. Y'all, how it has taken a pandemic for us to realize we need to wash our hands after we use the restroom. I thought we learned this a long time ago. Apparently, I was mistaken. Wash your hands. Use the restroom, wash your hands. Not once a day, but anytime during the day that you use the restroom, wash your hands. If you go to the supermarket and you use the cart, you can wipe it down with a disinfectant wipe, or when you're done, wash your hands. Don't hold on to the shopping cart for an hour while you get all your groceries, reaching things off the shelf, and then start rubbing your face because your nose itches. Wash your hands. They say try and avoid the contact with your face. Okay, I know like that sounds like an easy thing to do until you try and make a conscious effort not to touch your face. And then it's like, well, I touch my face all the time. And I do. I don't know about you, but I know I do. So try not to touch your face. Wash your hands. Disinfect things as best as you can. And then, as they've said, practice social distancing. Now, because I went to New Orleans, I came back, and I've been back for a couple days. I was greeted today with a text from my boss. How was your trip? Oh, it was good. It's good. I had a good time. Oh, where'd you end up going? Oh, I went to New Orleans. He knew that Baton was canceled, so I went to New Orleans. Had a good time. Ate some food, drank some drink. I'm back. Okay, well, you can't come here. What? I'm on quarantine. I have been quarantined by my office. I can't go into my employer for a few weeks now because I went somewhere with so many people and such a huge grouping of people together, and especially people come from all corners of the planet to go to New Orleans. And so now I'm officially on quarantine. I can't go into work for a few weeks. So starting tomorrow, I'm going to be working from home. That's interesting. I've never done this before. I'm actually super excited. I guess I'll work with a big American flag behind me. Won't that be kind of cool? That could be fun. At least it'll be different than looking at the cube walls of where I normally work. Yeah, so I've been quarantined, another effect of the COVID-19, coronavirus, as it will. I won't sip a Corona today, as I did that for effect last week, and now everything's blown up. So I think that's my fault. So like I said, the price gouging is definitely a thing. And another thing, if you haven't heard, there's now a ban on gatherings with more than 10 people. That's just 10. That's 10 little piggies. And you can't get together with a group of more than that. 10 people is it. That's all they recommend. So you have to wonder how much more is going to get shut down. I went out today and tried to have some lunch. I went to a place. I ordered my food. I got my food from the pickup window. I went to a table. I started spreading out, ready to go, ready to dig into this burger. It was a new place I'd never been to. I'm about halfway done with my sandwich, and one of the ladies who works there runs over to me. Sir. Oh, what? What'd I do? What's wrong? Sir, you can't eat that in here. Yesterday, they said that all restaurants are carry-out only now. There is no more dining in because of the coronavirus. Oh, I did not know this. So I had to, I was supposed to take my food and leave. I kind of wolfed down my sandwich, and I only had a couple fries left, so I threw it all away. But again, another way that we're just completely affected. So no more than 10 people, no dining in. The social distancing, good grief, is really becoming a big thing. Like it's starting to get super important enough that I'm almost buying into all this. And I know I was completely skeptical last week, but there's a lot. And now I understand if we're trying to limit the spread of something, we need to follow some of these steps. Washing your hands should be a given every day of every week of every month of every year. But apparently it wasn't. Something else that came across, then this is probably the biggest focus of the show. This is why I got ready to do a show, to get this recorded, to get it to the producers, to get it out. And it's for this right here. And it was something that I didn't even think about. So a lot of us, myself included, now I'm quarantined. A lot of us are doing the isolation, the social distancing, whatever you want to call it. So there's people now who are basically locked in bad situations. That's the kindest way I can put it. If there is an abused spouse, and maybe the only time they get a break from the physical or mental abuse of their abuser is maybe when they go to work, or maybe when they go out to eat with a friend, those doors are now closed to them. Okay, so now people who are basically getting confined to their homes, whether it be work has confined them or there's nowhere to go, you can't go out to eat, they are now stuck in close quarters with their abusers. And that thought really scared the hell out of me. Like, I'm super seriously worried for some people because nerves are already frayed. People are already at their wits' end. People are scared, and scared people do stupid things. Truth bomb. Let's be honest. I'd drop my microphone, but then there'd be a big thud in your speaker. So, hey, I'm going to pass on a little information. I saved it to my phone here because I want to make sure that I get it correct. But this is super important stuff. And if you know people in bad situations, virus or not, make sure they're okay. Make sure that people are all right. But let's see here. And what it says here and what I saw, co-quarantined with an abuser, worried about having to self-isolate from coronavirus in a dangerous home situation. And it says, please reach out. Contact, and I'm sure this is going to be the Twitter handle, at NDVH, National Domestic Violence Hotline. So at NDVH. Call 1-800-799-7233. Or I believe you can, I don't know what Htw is. Is that a text hotline? There's another number. Take it down if you need it. 1-800-787-3224. I'm thinking that that's a text line. Or you can just go online and chat, and it's at thehotline.org. So just www.thehotline.org. Okay? If you are in a danger spot or a bad situation, please take those numbers, take that Twitter handle, take the text line, take the website, contact someone, and do what you need to do. I'd rather you get coronavirus and have a bad cold than be in a potentially worse situation. Okay? So if you know anyone, please look out for them. That's what we're supposed to do. These times are tough. Nerves, like I said, are frayed. People are scared. And we are, as a human race, we are stupid, panicky animals when things go to pot or we get outside of our own comfort zones. And let's be honest, we're all outside of our own comfort zones. We are all in situations that we are not prepared for and that we've never experienced. So not only are we normally scared of new things, now we're in a scary new situation and people are acting a damn fool. Right? Right? I'm not wrong on this. So I need everyone to please look out for each other. Okay? When you go to the store, I didn't know this was a thing, but this is a thing. And you can look at the toilet paper situation as prime examples 1, 2, and 3. When you go to the store, shop responsibly. Okay, I was out of town. I could not get to a grocery store and stock up my home when all of this nonsense hit the fan. When the shit hit the fan, I was out of town. So if everyone had run to the store and just bought everything off the shelf, I would have been in a world of trouble. Now, when I got back, I was at the grocery store the first morning they opened upon my return from New Orleans, and the shelves were getting pretty bare. Now, here's the thing. Why were the shelves getting bare? Because there's the people who are not thinking of others. There are the people who are trying to buy 30 years worth of stock and are leaving nothing on the shelves for the people who couldn't get to the store. If you're a first responder and you're working a 24-hour shift, by the time you get off work, maybe you catch a few hours of shut-eye and you try and get to the store, the people have already raided it. Like, it's gone. They've taken all the toilet paper, and they're taking all the food, and they're stocking up for 100 years. Okay, let's all look out for each other. Get what you need, and I understand planning ahead, but get what you need. Don't take everything you can possibly carry. And I know, you might disagree, and if you disagree with that take, that's totally cool. let me know. Let me know where I'm wrong. But when I went to the store, I got what I needed, not everything I wanted. Not enough to try and last through coronavirus, Dos Equis virus, Coors Light virus, and etc. on for the next 100 years. Because that, to me, that feels like the irresponsible way to handle this situation. So again, you can disagree. Totally cool if you do. Let me know if you think that I'm wrong. Good with that too. So that is basically our Corona special, our COVID-19 special. I am all in all green, but we all know that St. Patrick's Day is canceled. Okay, all the events in town in Kansas City, the parade is canceled. Snake Saturday's parade was canceled. No one's going to be going out drinking on St. Patrick's Day. So really, I'm just here wearing my green in my studio. And that's about as St. Patrick-y as I'm going to be able to get for St. Patrick's Day 2020. So look, everyone, please, like for honesty's sake, let's take care of each other out there. I get it that these are uncertain times. They can be potentially scary times. It's not a comfortable situation for any of us. None of us signed up for this. This is all new territory. But I need everyone to just please stay calm, be smart, remember to lead with love, and we're going to make it through this. And baseball will be back before we know it, thank goodness. Nothing we can do about college basketball. It looks like that's el-finito for the year. But, you know, hey, we'll get back to baseball. We'll get back to going out. We'll get back to our festivals and our concerts and our cruises and the things that we love to do. But make sure we take care of each other first, that everyone makes it through this pandemic with flying colors. No bad situations, no hurt feelings, none of that. Let's just look out for each other and get through. Fair enough? I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Hitting the Wall. Make sure you go to the website, www.hittingthewallpodcast.com. You can find all of our old episodes. You can donate to the Patreon page if you so desire. You can buy the merchandise, as the Instagram contest is still alive and well. Nobody has claimed the prize yet. If you are interested in sponsoring an episode of the show, please reach out to us under the contact tab and we can discuss. Sponsoring this episode is cheap and it has a bit of a reach. So it would behoove you to do so. So that's it. Please send us anything you've got. Send us messages. Let us know if you like the new format. I'm always curious on what's working as we try and bulk up maybe more the YouTube channel, the website. You can also find us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, Stitcher, and anywhere that you find your podcasts. Don't text and drive. Be good to each other, and I will see you next time. Good night, everybody.